T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another installment of Photo News, where we look at some photography related news from the past week. And the top story to this in this episode is that Nikon went completely 1929 and dropped 15% in the stock market. Speculation says that Nikon lost a revenue equal in one area up to 260 million in losses for some restructuring internally in the company. But the losing streak has been traced by Nikon's own internal revenue team to at least 9 months ago, so in 2016. Seriously, 2016 again? Anyway, the losses has been attributed to restructuring within the company, but the minus 14.6% of the stock price, the drop in stock prices was a whopping 14.6%, so almost 15%. The capitalization drop was from, the entire net worth of the Nikon Corporation dropped from 6.6 billion to 5.6 billion, so a loss, a stock value loss of $1 billion. But as many other YouTubers and many other media outlets had let us know, that the extraordinary losses might not be as bad as they seem on paper, but in reality it's basically mostly Nikon restructuring. But we will actually continue with some bad news from Nikon when it was announced earlier this week that the delayed Nikon DL line of cameras has been cancelled altogether. As anticipated, the DL line was supposed to be Nikon's answer to the much popular Sony RX line of cameras. Well, those are a little bit of news that, in what shall we call it, economic news in photography. But now go over to a little bit of the accessory branch of photography, and now to post-processing, because Phase 1, owners of Mamiya, has announced a customized keyboard specifically to be used with the Capture One Pro software. Phase 1's answer to Lightroom. The keyboard sports a minimalist design and is named Capture One Pro Keyboard. Well, not much of an original name, but it says what it means and means what it says. It has multicolored keys highlighted and 107 shortcuts in it. So if you're into photographic editing with Capture One Pro, this keyboard from Phase 1 Mamiya might be something for you. Yeah, and also a new application or app news. We have two app news actually. The first one being that the Fro himself, Jared Poland, has announced an app that has been a little bit semi-known about. There have been a little bit of, under the surface talks about it, that they had some beta testers and so on. But now it has been announced, and it's Jared Poland who has announced an application for smartphones, currently on iPhone, but will soon be available for Android as well. It's MGV, or MyGearVault, an app for photographers to catalogize their gear and to prevent theft. Product trailer in the link there is a link in the description below. Anyway, word fart. But anyway, it seems like a legit deal. This app, according to the Fro, is also supposed to be able to connect yourself with some partnering insurance companies in order to give you the best premium and best coverage for any situation. But we'll see how it goes. It can't, as Tony Northrup would say, it can't be worse than SnapBridge. That's just me speculating, by the way. But anyway, another application that has been launched this past week, it's not for smartphones or Androids. This is actually a web-based application, and it's Kodak who launched the new website Kodak Winning Photos app. Link as well in the description. A app that surely will get the nickname, I would suspect this will get the nickname Kodagram, because it's a play on Instagram or something, because it's similar to Instagram, and it's a web-based app where competitions and prizes will be held. There are pay-per-contest entries, so you have to buy tokens from Kodak via PayPal to be able to enter contests, and it's an interesting concept. Only time will tell if this is something that will be useful or not, but the concept seems noble at least. Excuse me. Well, camera news. It seems like Canon has released 2 versions of the same camera, figuratively speaking. There are some differences, but when you look at the specs, it basically looks almost like the same camera. Well, 2 new DSLRs and 1 mirrorless, so 3 cameras, 2 of which are almost identical. The first 2, the DSLRs, are the 77D and the Rebel T7i. 2 cameras where you really have to read the fine print to see the differences. The biggest difference is in the AF systems and the type of autofocus points in the viewfinder. But let's begin with a little bit of an overview of the 77D. It uses a 7.65 megapixel RGB IR metering sensor, similar to the one in the 80D, not ADD. I know a lot of people say it like that, but it's 80D. You almost have to say it with the space in between. But anyway, the 77D also has a top LCD Casio wristwatch display, while the T7i does not. The price for the 77D is said to be about $900 for the body only, or $1,049 with a 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens. Okay. Next we have the Rebel T7i. It has a dual pixel CMOS AF with face detect. It has 45 points, 45 autofocus points. All are cross type. The AF system, and it has a Digic 7 processor. The price is set to be $750 for the body only, and $900 with the same 18 to 55 millimeter lens the 77D was bundled with for $1,049. Also from Canon, the mirrorless M section has gotten a new addition in the EOS M6, not a BMW by the way. So M6 from Canon EOS. A pocket point-and-shoot camera with a display back for live view, 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor, a Digic 7 processor. The ISO is 100 to 25,600. It will be able to record full HD in 60p. It has a tilt screen and no viewfinder, but more about that. It also is compatible with Canon's new AVF DC2 hot shoe mountable viewfinder, which will be about $250. So the M6 will retail for $780 for the body only. This is a mirrorless camera system where you can swap lenses. So it will retail for $780 for the body and $900 with a 15 to 45 millimeter kit lens. and another $250 for the viewfinder. So all in all, the M6 will cost you roughly $1,150 for the entire kit. So that, or the 77D for $1,049. So that's a little bit what you have to choose between. But anyway, this is the news so far for the past week in photography. There is not much more, but stay tuned for next week when we have photo news number 4 coming out. But anyway, as always, this is Tobias Bergström from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I would like to see you guys in the next video. And as always, as you're supposed to say in this YouTube malarkey, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.